Hey everybody, thanks for joining in. Hope we all had a great weekend. Watched some football yesterday, and I want to talk about the Jets game against the Vikings that was yesterday morning in London. As I predicted, and I'm sure lots of other people did, not just me, the Jets were going to lose that game, and they did lose it. Um, it's just to me like it's getting frustrating watching this team. I mean, I made a whole bunch of notes on the game yesterday, and I was gonna clean up my notes and read off from my notes and everything, but they were so long. This would have been an hour long video, and I don't want to do that to anyone. I don't want to bore you with it. If you watch the game, you've seen it. I just want to give you my take on it. I knew the Jets were going to lose yesterday. I had a feeling, anyways. I mean, they made it close in the end. Good for them, but unfortunately, there's no prize for second place for losing. An L is an L, you know. So that's the way I look at it. I mean, a lot of other guys are going, "Oh, look, they came back. Oh, they almost won. They could have this. They should have that." I know that, but it's turning out to be every weekend. It's that. Oh, if there wasn't a penalty. Oh, if he just caught the ball. Or if they just ran it instead of pass it. You know, blah blah. Every week is the same thing. Just more excuse after excuse after excuse. Um, so let's just talk about the game real quick here, and tell me what you think afterwards. The Jets, they did Jet things. They dug themselves a hole in the first half, and they couldn't get out of it. Oh, granted, they tried. I give them credit. They tried. But at the end of the day, they couldn't, because the defense always seems to do this in the start of games. They just let the other team run roughshod on them, and they go down 10-0, 14-0, 17-0, whatever it may be. And this team, for some reason, I don't care if it's Aaron Rodgers, Zach Wilson, they can't come back from being down. They just can't. And I don't understand why either. Rodgers was supposed to be our savior, our save all. You know, this is now we got an offense. We really don't yet. We have a bunch of guys still running this way while he throws the ball that way. We still got the same guy, Alan Lazard, dropping balls. I think he dropped 4 balls yesterday. A couple of them were very easily could have been catches. They were in his hands, drops balls, stupid penalties again. I mean, granted, some of those PIs against DJ Reed and Sauce were a little bit questionable in my opinion, but they still end up being penalties. You know, so we can always argue the refs sucked and they're doing this and that. It's unfair. Hell, we do that with every Chief game. But the fact of the matter is there's still penalties, there's still calls, and they still cost the Jets points. And this is what happened again yesterday. Dug themselves a hole, tried to climb out of it, and can't do it. Aaron Rodgers yesterday threw the ball 54 times. 54 times. That can't be. And you know why he did? Because the Jets, they can't open up the run game. They have no run game. Breece Hall is a shell of himself. And that's not because he is. It's because the front line is just not meshing. They're not. Rodgers got sacked 3-4 times yesterday. One time I thought he was dead. He couldn't even, he could barely give up. I said, okay, well, that's the end of him. And he came back out there like a trooper. Good for him. But how many more times can that happen before he's done? He's going to be out for the part of the season, if not the whole season. I hope not, of course, but it doesn't look to me like it's very good. He was limping around again yesterday. We have a running game that can't even break 100 yards in a game anymore. It's all the front line. The most important part of the team to me, on the offense anyways, is that front line. And no matter how they try to piece it together and patch it together, it's just not working. The last 2-3 seasons, maybe even longer. You know, Rodgers is running around back there, and he can't do that, man. Even when he was a younger guy, he's a pocket guy. He can't run around for 30 yards like a Lamar Jackson or even Josh Allen. As much as I hate the guy, he's got wheels. Rodgers isn't like that. They just can't seem to block. He was rushed yesterday, running around, sacked, and he threw 3 interceptions yesterday. The pick 6 he threw was such a bad pass. I don't even know. I watched that replay 5 times. I couldn't remember who the hell is he throwing the ball to. And this Gunkel guy or Van Dinkel guy or whatever his name is, he's just known for running balls back for touchdowns, and he did yesterday. That killed us right there. That pick 6 was a killer. In the second half of the game, let's move on to the second half of the game. This is all first half stuff, basically. Second half of the game, the defense seems to step up, and I know they do that almost in every game. But the problem is that we've dug ourselves such a hole, we can't get out of it. So the defense is pretty good. Picked Donald off once, I guess. I don't think twice. I think he threw 1 interception. They stopped them for the most part on everything except when it really mattered the most. Darnold walked down the field and they got that last field goal, and I knew that was the end of the game. That's when they should have stopped them. I mean, I wish they would have anyways, but they had been doing it the whole second half. Maybe they were just gassed. Maybe they were just beat. I don't know at this point. But the Jets get the ball. There's still like 3 minutes left in the game. They got a chance. Here's Rodgers going to do his thing like he used to do with the Packers. He's a comeback kid, And so I started to think, well, maybe a little bit of that magic is going to come out and he's going to bring us down there and he's going to do one of these Rodgers things like he used to do with the Packers and win the game at the end. So he got down there close. I think the Jets were I could be wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think they were at the 26-yard line or something like that. And of course he's getting rushed and he threw one ball into triple coverage. I couldn't believe. I think it was Conklin he threw it to. He was lucky that ball wasn't picked off. He had no chance catching that ball. But anyway, I don't know, it was third down, whatever down it was. He drops back the pass, throws the ball to the right side of the field to a Mike Williams who was not open at all. I don't know if he was throwing an over-the-shoulder catch or a fade ball or something. Williams is still going. He throws and I know some people were bitching, oh, that should have been PI on the Vikings. Look at the play, man. No, it shouldn't have been. It was a shitty pass. It was a poorly thrown pass. He had no chance of getting that ball. And the Viking guy intercepts the ball for his third pick of the day. Game over. Jets lose again. So did they try to come back? Yeah, they tried to come back. They came close. But at the end of the day, I really don't want to hear all these other people saying, oh, this was a 5-0 team. We coulda, we shoulda, yeah, that's all we ever say every Monday. We say we coulda, we shoulda won. We coulda, they couldn't, they lost. They lost the game. Period. End of story. And I don't even know who to pinch it on anymore. Like, Rodgers didn't look very good yesterday. He threw the ball 54 times because he had to. We had no run game. Threw 3 interceptions. He even himself admitted at the end of the game, he's like, I've never thrown 2 interceptions in my life in the first quarter of a game. Never mind a pick 6 like that. So I think everybody can kind of feel it. Like, this is not the Aaron Rodgers of 4 or 5 years ago. I'm not blaming him. He's the only one. He was a trooper yesterday. He was limping around. He was injured. He still tried. So kudos for him for that. No question about it. And the defense too. But I think a lot of this problem that we still have, and I'm going to say it till the end of the season, is coaching. The coaching on this football team is just pathetic. It is probably the worst in the NFL. If you can tell me a worse coaching staff in the NFL, let me know. And don't bring up teams like that are rebuilding teams like the Patriots or somebody like that. These teams are not supposed to be winning. The Jets are supposed to be winning with this roster, and they just come out and lay an egg every single Sunday, it seems like. We can beat the Pats, who are rebuilding, and the Titans in that game, which, by the way, I'll say this till the end of the season. If Will Levis doesn't play Superman, Jets lose that game. So anyway, what the problem with this team is the coaching staff is terrible. Robert Saleh, I see that guy on the sideline, and he walks around like he's lost. He jumps around like a little kid when they make a tackle. But yet, when something's going wrong, I never see him go to the sideline and bitch at the defenders or tell the offensive guys, what are you doing out there? Nothing. He walks around in a fog. He was in a perfect place yesterday because London is foggy. So that's where he belongs, because he's in a fog. So he actually belongs there, because that's what he looks like to me every time something's going wrong. You don't know what to do. And this Hackett guy, I don't understand how he has a job in the NFL. I could call better plays than him. He is absolutely pathetic. So let's just forget about, okay, this game, it's over. Jets lost 2-3 now. We're 2-3. But I tell you right now, the one good thing we got going for us is that this division, the AFC East, is mid at best. The Buffalo Bills are really showing. They got beat by Houston yesterday. Not that Houston's bad, but the Bills are supposed to be this powerhouse. Josh Allen, I think he was 9 for 30 yesterday. I mean, that's pathetic. So the Bills are really showing themselves now like they're not a team that everybody's afraid of. This is a beatable team. And now the Bills dropped to 3-2 yesterday. The Dolphins won a questionable game yesterday on the Pats. Now the Bills and Jets that's the next team that we have is the Buffalo Bills. I think it's Monday night, coming up next Monday. Now think about this for a second. How really bad, or maybe I should say how evened out this is. If you want to make it sound like that, if the Jets beat the Bills next Monday night, they're actually in first place at 3-3. I mean, I can't believe it. I'm sitting here going, I'm thinking that in my mind. I'm going, oh my God, if they beat the Bills, who are definitely beatable, the Jets would be in first place, tied with them at 3-3. Imagine that. So there is a silver lining at the end of this dark cloud. We as Jet fans are seem to be stuck in now for I don't know how many years. But they're going to have to pick it up. They're going to have to figure this out. And this coaching problem they have, this no accountability for guys dropping balls, penalties, running bad route. Well, what is that? That's high school stuff. Yesterday I saw it again. Rodgers throwing this way, guys running that way. How many times can this happen? This is pro football, man. This is something you should iron out in practice, and yet it still happens. Guys with penalties are still playing. Put them in the doghouse, man. If you're going to hold guys for 2 plays in a row, sit them in the fucking bench. If you're going to do pass interference, I don't care who you are, take them aside and say, stop that shit, man. You got to stop that. You know the referees are watching you. Then don't do it. Somehow do something, but be a coach, be a leader. And the Jets are so badly lacking that. It's just not funny anymore. So, and I'm tired of the excuses. Robert Saleh with his bullshit excuses. That team was really good. It was raining. I don't understand. We looked really good in practice. This guy's got to go, man. He's got to go. His excuses have run out, as far as I'm concerned, anyway. So, I guess, do you want to give him props for almost beating the Vikings yesterday? Go ahead and give him props for that. At the end of the day, it's an L. It's an L. They're 2-3. If they do fall to Buffalo next Monday night, they're 2-4. And I watched most of the Steeler game last night. I fell asleep watching it. But I woke up at the end to watch the Cowboys pull it out of their ass somehow. But for the most part, I watched 3/4 of the game, at least, if not more. And the Steelers' defense is good. I mean, their offense is really kind of straggling around. But their defense is very good, man. And this Jets offense is not going to succeed against that defense either. So that's another game they have coming up after Buffalo. But like I said in my last video, this could be a 4-game losing skid we're on. We absolutely have to beat Buffalo Monday night. There's no question. In my opinion, this is a must-win. This early in the season, it's a must-win. They can't lose to Buffalo, but they got to beat the Bills. Even if they're just tied record, but in first place, theoretically speaking, that's better than losing that game and dropping to 2-4. Because you already are starting to see some dissension in the locker room. And I believe there's a lot more than they're actually showing. That's my opinion. But anyway, I hope everybody had a good weekend. Leave me a comment below. Let me know what you think about the game. Tell me if you agree, disagree with what I got to say. And if you enjoyed the video, hit that like button. I really appreciate it. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel after you watch. It really helps me out a lot. I like making the videos. I like bullshitting about the games. But I like to hear more what people think about my opinion, what I say. So anyway, that all being said, I'll be making a video during the week. We'll talk about the upcoming Bills game, what I think the Jets got to do to win this thing. And at the end of the day, they could be in first place by next Monday morning. Who knows? But anyway, I'll talk to you guys all later. Have a great day and take care.